Ave Regina, Mater misericordiae, vita dulcedo, estes nostra salve.
The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. Luke. The mother of Jesus and his brothers came to him, but were unable to join him because of the crowd. He was told, "Your mother and your brothers are standing outside, and they wish to see you." He said to them in reply, "My mother and my brothers are those who hear the word of God and act on it." The Gospel of the Lord. If you listened carefully to the first reading, you heard a pagan king direct people to go and rebuild God's house with precision of execution. With precision of execution. And when the temple had been rebuilt, before they entered the temple, they purified themselves. And they came with right intention to offer sacrifice. Let us go rejoicing to the house of the Lord. That's the psalm response. It's always the bridge that connects the first reading to the gospel. How do I approach the house of the Lord? You see, this is just a building. It's made of bricks and mortar. But the people who wanted to approach Jesus, the house of the Lord, because Christ is really the house of the Lord, could not approach because of the great crowd. It isn't enough to come to church. This is just a building, and there's no difference between this building and the building that you go to school in, the building that you work in, the building that you live in. It's a building. We have to come to Christ. And there's a world of difference. There's a world of difference between coming to a building and coming to Christ. You know, I have the opportunity now that I'm not a pastor anymore to go to a lot of different parishes on weekends. Some time ago I was in a parish, I won't say where, it doesn't matter where. Before Mass, all there was talk, 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 talk. And what that said to me was, there's no understanding of sacred space. This is God's house. How do I approach the house of the Lord? How do I dress when I come to Holy Mass? It's important. How do I conduct myself? How do I prepare myself to come to Holy Mass? Have I fasted for an hour? Have I prepared my heart to receive Holy Communion? Not communion, Holy Communion. Why do I make a reverential bow before I receive Holy Communion? Why do I kneel? All these things mean something. They send a message. We need to know that there are people who come in to this church, or many churches, just to observe me and you. I've said before, and I'll say it again. It's not about an education that you're getting at Holy Family Academy. You can get that anywhere. It's about formation. That's what you're going to take with you when you graduate from that place. That's what's going to sustain you in this crazy world. That's the difference between why your parents are sending you there as opposed to going anywhere else. Precision of execution. They built and rebuilt God's house. It was intentional. And they purified themselves. And they offered sacrifice. And they came rejoicing to the house of the Lord.
Regina Celi, letare, alleluia, qui aquam meruisti portare, alleluia, resurrexit sicut dixit, alleluia.